has failed to adequately manage tens of billions of dollars in contracts paid mainly to private companies supporting military operations in Iraq and Afghanistan. That's according to a report by an independent commission investigating wartime waste and fraud. The report will be presented to Congress later on Wednesday. Well, joining me live now is Dina Gazowski from Washington, D.C. Dina, this report really is a bombshell, isn't it? What does this mean for U.S. efforts in Afghanistan and Iraq? What's really going on over there?
Well, this is some shocking stuff. I mean, this commission basically found that the U.S. reliance on the private sector is increasing at unprecedented levels. But, Bill, at the same time, the U.S. government really lacks those documents that say who these contractors are, what are they doing there, how much are they getting paid. So it's kind of a chaotic situation. Now, this report is 111 pages long, so we can all imagine how many members of Congress and senators are actually going to read that report, but perhaps they should. Because the allegations are quite serious. You have mismanagement, lack of oversight, failure to learn from previous mistakes, some serious allegations in this report.
So who's accountable for all of this? Who's going to have to answer to all these allegations that have been put forward in the report?
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if there's any kind of finger pointing at the hearing, if there's a blame game that's going to be played. Because, look, there are a lot of different entities involved here. You have the Defense Department, you have the Pentagon, you have the big companies themselves, the private employees, so a lot of different people involved in this. Now, let's consider Iraq for a second. Barack Obama has said time and again he wants to bring U.S. troops home from Iraq, but there's a big question that lies here when it comes to these private contractors, these defense contractors. Will they be immune to any kind of timetables that the Obama administration sets? This is very important because the question becomes, are they going to be able to kind of linger in Iraq indefinitely? That's a major concern. Now let's consider Afghanistan. Barack Obama wants to increase U.S. troops there. He wants to increase military efforts in Afghanistan, which basically means the expansion of existing bases and the building of new bases. So the question there is, how much of a role are these defense contractors going to play in that? I mean, you literally right now have commanders in Afghanistan that say, I don't really know how many of these contractors pass through my base each day. So it's really serious stuff here. At the same time, Secretary of Defense Robert Gates has said that he does want to reduce the military's reliance on the private sector. He wants to hire more government employees. We'll have to wait and see how successful he is in doing that, especially in light of all of these reports and allegations.
Now, of course, Dina, the other consequences or the other implication is that some of these private contracting companies have already come under fire for overbilling and for mismanaging budgets and projects in conflict zones. So what will be the consequences of that when the report is made public later today in Congress?
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, these big companies, the employees of these companies, no strangers to scandal and controversy. I mean, take KBR, for example, a subsidiary of Halliburton. I reported on this just a few weeks ago. KBR is under criminal investigation. It's being accused of negligently causing the deaths of 4 U.S. soldiers. It's under criminal investigation for overbilling, for fraud. But at the same time, the shocking thing is that these companies and the people within these companies are still over there in Iraq and Afghanistan. The companies are still being paid tens of billions of dollars. So it's going to be interesting to see if this report and this hearing is going to change anything. We're going to be there a little bit later on today, bringing you all the latest from there.
All right, Dina, thanks very much indeed for that update. Dina Gazowski, live in the States.